Are you starting over or just getting started? I was thinking about something. How many times have you looked at a part of your life and thought, my God, I've got to start all over again? Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's your career. Maybe you're just looking at yourself. Maybe you're looking at your finances. And because something didn't turn out the way you expected it to, you started to feel like everything you've done up until this point just doesn't matter, just doesn't count. Well, I truly don't believe that. I don't think most of us are actually starting over. I think we're starting again with information. And that's a big difference, because starting over sounds like I have nothing. Starting again means I know some things now. I've experienced some things now. I've made some mistakes and I've had some wins. I know what I don't want and I know what I do want. I know what doesn't work for me and I know what works for me. And hopefully, I'm beginning to understand myself a little better. Because really that's the point, for us to understand ourselves a little better. With each journey, with each mishap, with each win, loss, whatever the situation is for us to understand ourselves a little better, to evolve. And that's definitely not starting from zero. That's experience. And I've had to think about that in my own life. There are things I built that didn't work exactly the way I thought they would, trust me. Things I've had to change, things I've had to let go of, things I had to admit weren't working anymore. And sometimes when that happens, the first thing we do is judge ourselves. How did I get here? Why didn't I know better? Why am I doing this again at this age? But what if instead of judging ourselves, we asked, what did this teach me? What do I know now that I didn't know before? What am I taking with me? And what am I finally willing to leave behind? Because becoming doesn't mean throwing away every version of yourself that came before. There are pieces of her that you need, her strength, her wisdoms, her resilience, her experience, maybe even some of her mistakes, because those mistakes taught you things too. So the work is deciding what comes with me into this next version of my life and what doesn't. That's something I've been thinking about a lot, because I think sometimes when we say we're stuck, what we're really saying is, I don't know how to move forward without letting go of everything I know, everything I'm comfortable with. And just maybe you don't have to. Maybe the next chapter isn't asking you to become a completely different person. Maybe it's just asking you to become more honest about who you are now, who you're becoming. So here's my question for you today. What if you're not starting over? What if you're just getting started? What if you're simply starting again with experience, with wisdom, with information, with a clear understanding of yourself? What would you do differently if you looked at your life that way? What would you do differently? Think about that. This is TonyaTalks, and just me sharing some of what I'm thinking about and hopefully giving you something to think about too. I'll see you next Thursday. Enjoy your week.